A very good evening once again and welcome to UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha, and Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. We start off with President Yoweri Museveni, who issued a stern warning regarding the politicization and misinformation surrounding government programs, particularly the rationalization of the Uganda Coffee Development Authority. The president was meeting in a parliamentary caucus led by the government chief whip Dennis Hamson Obua at his Kisozi farm in Gomba district. The meeting was also attended by some wealth creators in the area.
Our vision of society was clear.
That
it is possible
to
have prosperity for all.
Obugaganga bwa bonna bagaggawale.
And in our Luo language you say duchu.
Mu lulimi lwabwe duchu
Luo
olw'engulu eyo.
So
n'olwekyo
in the 1996 manifesto
mu biteeso byaffe ebya 1996
we proposed the 4 acres model.
Twagezaako okulambulula enteekateeka eya eka 4.
In writing, not talking, not what, but in
writing. Si kwogera bwogezi naye mu buwandiike.
And we also recommended the enterprises.
Era ne tuwa ekirowoozo ku nteekateeka ey'ebitongole.
We said the 4 acres, 1 acre for coffee.
Netugaa nti eka emu ebe ya mmwanyi.
The second acre should be for fruits.
Ey'okubiri ya bibala.
Third acre should be for pasture for dairy cattle.
Ey'okusatu nga muddo gwa nte ez'amata.
Fourth one for food.
Ey'okuna mmere ya kulya waka.
Then in the backyard you put poultry for eggs.
Ate manju tuteekeyo enkoko ezibiika amagi.
Then piggery, those who don't mind pigs.
Ate n'abo abatafaayo ku P1G nabo babe n'enteekateeka yaabwe.
And finally fish farming.
Ate ekyenkomeredde okulima ebyennyanja.
In writing.
Ekyo nga kiri mu buwandiike.
But and soon we started putting programs in place.
Twagala otwale Kampala nga tetuyise ku kolansi zo zijja kgenda.
So please,
n'olwekyo bannange,
I'm really not happy with the people who divert our people's attention.
Siri musanyufu nnyo eri abantu abawabya abantu baffe okuva ku bubaka bwaffe.
And when I was still active in the Scripture Union,
bwe nali
A quick correction, that was a story where President Museveni urged citizens to elect representatives who are willing to cooperate with the government to drive development. And of course, speaking at the Thanksgiving ceremony for Canon Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa in Ndeje, President Museveni warned those who mislead citizens and distract them from the government's wealth creation initiatives to cease such actions or face consequences. And in most stories, the defense attaches accredited to Uganda have commended the Uganda People's Defense Forces, particularly the Mountain Division, for their outstanding contributions to the stabilization and pacification of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. This was during their visit to the Mountain Division headquarters at Mohoti Barracks in Fort Portal City to receive updates on the operation's progress.
Wake up!
A delegation of 16 defense attaches representing various embassies in Uganda and part of the Defense Attache Association visited the Mountain Division headquarters at Mohot Barracks in Fort Portal City to receive the Operation Soja progress.
Defense Attaches Association, you have taken your time out of your busy schedules to visit us and be briefed about Mountain Divisions and Operation Shuja. Your visit lays a clear path for our mutual cooperation in ensuring security, and more so, a fight against global terrorism. The threats we face are becoming more complex each day that passes by, and it's our responsibility as military leaders to ensure that the strategic and regional decisions are translated into action.
The recognition follows the joint military operation between UPDF and FADACA forces aimed at combating the Allied Democratic Forces.
The threats we face are becoming more complex each day that passes by, and it's our responsibility as military leaders to ensure that the strategic and regional decisions are translated into action. One of the principal challenges we have been facing is the fight against global terrorism. This calls for concerted efforts from all parties to decisively address it.
Haruna Ntesasira, UBC News.
International donor agencies through the Least Development Countries Initiative for Effective Adaptation and Resilience have partnered with Ministry of Water and Environment to restore degraded forests and wetlands in the region. A senior climate change officer at the Ministry of Water and Environment, Scovia Court, represented the Permanent Secretary in addressing Chibale district officials and a delegation from Bhutan at the Chibale district headquarters. Musinguzi has a detailed report on this story.
What our forest sequester is way more than what we emit. That is the practice in Bhutan because of our conservation efforts. So life we are, for us in Bhutan, is one of the best and well-recognized, loved initiative by Bhutan. We are at the final stage of the establishment phase. Very soon we will be coming after Uganda. So Uganda, please do not wait for us. You grow up, you go ahead, go further, but at the end of the day we will succeed together.
I want to assure you that, but also for other government programs, because naturally we are doing very well in all government program implementation.
And moving on, the Ministry of Education and Sports has pledged to continue working with Nigeria in different sectors to enhance collaborations. The minister was represented by AG Director Higher Education, Dr. Safina Museni, at the handover of 7 Nigerian volunteer experts in ICT and interrelations at Makerere University. The ambassador of Nigeria to Uganda, John Shama Shaga, appealed to them to be ambassadors of Nigeria in Uganda for the 2-year contract and deliver expertise expected from them.
The Nigerian government has handed over 7 experts to Makerere University that will help in enriching students in ICT and relations through ATTAC, Nigeria Technical Aid Corps partnership. The handover ceremony was led by the ambassador of Nigeria to Uganda, John Shama Shaga, who says Uganda's collaboration has been a success and pledging to continue working together in various aspects.
It is gratifying to state that the Technical Aid Corps scheme, one of Nigeria's major foreign policy initiatives, has been impacting and of value addition to the socio-economic development of recipient Africa, Caribbean, and the Pacific, that's APC countries, since 1987.
He advised the experts to be the ambassadors of Nigeria in Uganda by exercising their expertise, and that will help both countries.
And further admonish you to fly the Nigerian flag to higher heights, as well as put in your best in the discharge of your national assignment in Uganda for the period of your duty tour.
The State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, represented by the Acting Director in charge of Higher Education, Dr. Safina Museni, applauded the Nigerian government for the expertise extended to Uganda during this, and he says this will build future for both countries in the academic sector.
We at the Ministry of Education and Sports believe that such partnership are a basis for building a stronger future, which is in line with Makerere University's motto. Makerere University says we build for our future. So we think that you are coming and joining that important university will enable us to achieve the best.
The Vice Chancellor, Makerere University, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, represented by Dr. Winfred Kabumbuli, said Makerere values international partners and assured support in addressing common academic challenges, fostering strength between Uganda and Nigeria.
Makerere University, we are committed to providing a conducive environment for our visiting scholars. Our state-of-the-art facilities, renowned research centers, and expert faculty will support you. Of course, we know that you have given us the creme de la creme, but we also have a good team of faculty, and they will be there to support your academic pursuit.
The executive officer at TAC, Arapron Jessica, is confident that the volunteers will impart knowledge and learn more from Uganda for the period of 2 years, and that Uganda can decide to retain them.
Requested for another set of volunteers. So the last set gave a good name, so they should keep up the good name and continue. The university demanded for the 7 volunteers. So we had to deliver the 7 volunteers. The university can retain them as permanent lecturers. It's okay, it's up to them. If no permanent position, they have to come back home and their jobs are waiting for them back home.
The 7 Nigerian experts that have been placed at Makerere University are an addition to the other universities to share expertise in different fields. Story compiled by Andrew Sebira for UBC News.
Thank you so much, Sebira. Uganda has received 1.5 million Ugandan USDs, I beg your pardon, Global Environment Facility grant to enhance institutional and technical capacity for Paris Agreement Transparency Framework, prompting effective greenhouse gas data collection and reporting. Conservation International's charity NALIA says that securing a grant to aid Uganda in formalizing institutional agreements for information collection and management is key in global funding negotiations.
Uganda is a signatory to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and the Paris Agreement that requires her by no default to provide the necessary information to track progress towards reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. Aware that Uganda's willingness to abide by these international protocols is belittled by, among others, weak coordination framework and institutional arrangements, inadequate institutional and technical capacity at the national level to collect and manage greenhouse gas data, weaknesses in accessing greenhouse gas data and tools for managing it. Both government and non-state institutions involved in greenhouse gas emissions underwent a successful capacity building program between 2019 to 2022.
As Uganda, we pledged to reduce emissions by 28.4%. So, and one of the sectors that are doing that is agriculture. So with GBIT support, we are able to report on time, and we have to have the exact data to report about.
On behalf of Conservation International, through the Conservation International, Uganda has for the second time received funds worth $1.5 million to consolidate the gains of the first phase, but also scale up capacities of frontline staff from the 10 government and non-state institutions responsible for collecting and managing greenhouse gas data.
This is not a new project. It is a runner-up to a previous project which we implemented. And we did that with success, overwhelming success. And because of that, we have a challenge. When you overperform, people measure you according to that level. And therefore, this project must succeed beyond the expectation.
The second phase will focus on 4 components, which are building institutional capacity for a more robust and resilient national greenhouse gas inventory system, seek to enhance technical capacity, enabling stakeholders to collect and analyze data with at least 40% female participation, facilitate knowledge sharing across transparency initiatives, ensuring collaboration and alignment with regional and global efforts, and emphasize a gender-sensitive monitoring and evaluation framework, which is Uganda's priority and commitment to inclusive climate action.
So this project, it's going to strengthen the capacity of the users, the ministries, all the stakeholders to be able to handle the crisis of climate change.
Because the other challenge has been like from the civil society. We don't have that capacity yet. It has been more of the government and the research agencies. But now that this project comes in at this phase, it will be much easier now for civil society that are involved, say in carbon market mechanisms, to be able to, pick all this data, report properly.
Environmental experts are optimistic that such interventions will go a long way in increasing Uganda's bargaining power, especially for adaptation action.
When we have more data, then it gives us closer to accuracy. And why is it important to be accurate? When we are accurate, it increases even our negotiation for funding, for support of adaptation action, for support of mitigation action. So like improved data is important for decision making and also support.
One of the criteria for leveraging climate financing is having an enabling environment in terms of policy and institutions. So if you find there is this lack of information about the country in terms of how it's progressing with its nationally determined contributions implementation, it will definitely affect whether donors would want to invest in that country or not.
During the project launch, the Commissioner for Climate Change at the Ministry of Water and Environment, Margaret Atieno Mwebesa, was represented by Francis Opolot.
Uganda stands ready to leverage this international platform to champion our priorities, particularly the transparency requirements set forth by the Paris Agreement.
The project is scheduled to last at least 4 years. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Dorcas Kimono. Local leaders in Teso sub-region have praised government for the prevailing peace in the area, which has fostered a conducive environment for development. This peace has enabled thousands of men and women to participate in the livelihood initiatives aimed at alleviating poverty in the region.
A number of farmers in Teso sub-region have embraced financial inclusion training conducted by Pentecostal Assemblies of God with the support of Teso Development Trust to boost household incomes in the region.
We have taught how to save in smaller scale groups. After that, after we save, we are told even to borrow money for other things like businesses, taking children to school.
The training has seen Agnes Alungat, a resident of Okunguru sub-county in Kapelebyong district, transforming from farming to livestock.
Well, I have 8 cattle right now. I have chicken, and then I have some goats also at home with food stuff. So I use it for fees, settling other things at home, small treatment, and other issues.
A 3-year project has already started showing its results in the first year, as confirmed by the overseers.
They've been so determined, so hopeful, and so imaginative in the way they've used the training they've had and the way that they've taken action on that training. I think the savings and loan schemes have been particularly helpful. It's given people the opportunity to borrow money to put into a business.
Positive mindset changes among the beneficiaries enabled the project to thrive in the short time.
If you understand that what I can do, I can change, I bring a change by myself. And that is the training that we brought to people, farming as a business. It is your thing, it is yourself, it is you who will support yourself. And I think that is one. The other thing that I think has helped us, we also attach this to faith. Because we are saying, not only are you able to do this by yourself, but with the help of God, God will help you to enable to do the thing.
However, the local leaders believe that the prevailed peace ushered by NRM government in Teso sub-region has played significant role in fostering projects in the region.
This one now has enabled us to establish, to concentrate in agriculture, to concentrate in other economic activity.
Despite these achievements, farmers in Teso sub-region decry of lack of red market for their produce.
We are struggling, but the only thing which has affected us as we talk right now, though we are trying to struggle, is the food we get. First of all, we have a problem in marketing it.
When we cultivate those things, at times you find that the prices are not good. We plant those things, but we don't have a market for them. You sell at a lower price.
Oko Joseph, UBC.
Journalism students have been encouraged to actively engage in practical journalism to maximize the benefits of their career. This call to action was made during a career guidance seminar at Metropolitan International University, Kampala campus, featuring career advisors from various media houses, administrators and lecturers.
The idea is in what you are trying to communicate.
Administrators, lecturers, and prominent experienced journalists have urged both current and aspiring journalists to immerse themselves in hands-on learning and career development. Emphasis was placed on practical skills such as field reporting, camera and equipment handling, and upholding professionalism.
We called on this seminar, the media tour, the media talent tour, in order to enable our students gain the practical part of their academics. You know, usually when students are in class, what they get is the theoretical part of it. But we need these seminars to enable our students get the practical side of their course. So being students of journalism, they both, actually in most cases, they need to attain the practical part of it, and we are glad that this seminar has helped them improve on their talent as students of journalism in as far as practicals are concerned.
One of the challenges I face with my journalism students is that somehow they lack skills, the practical skills. But now that's the reason as to why we have come up with this initiative.
Mobile journalism is the thing for now. If we don't tell stories using our mobile phones, we are speaking to nobody, because nobody is watching TV 24/7 like they used to, but everybody is watching something on their phones.
The emphasis on practical experience has been widely appreciated, showcasing how it benefits journalists looking to thrive in the field.
I'm privileged to have had this workshop today for our students of journalism and mass communication, because it's a niche, it is a pivot to our students to improve on their skills. Yes, we've been in class, we've had everything we wanted in class, but now journalism is all about mobile journalism, journalism is all about citizen journalists. Now we are in the field right now to ensure that our students are compatible.
Today we have learned a lot from the seminar that we had today for the media talk show that was organized by the campus, and we have all enjoyed, we have all learned, because mostly it was about practicals. We have been learning theories, but we also needed the practical part of it. And we have all gained, we have all been equipped.
Professional journalists were also reminded of their duty to maintain high standards of professionalism and social responsibility. The theme of the day was Learn, Create, and Experience.
With lots of learning from popular and famous journalists and reporters, a lot has been learned and a lot has been experienced through practical shows, practical experiments. Reporting for UBC News, I'm Charity Nahawe.
Thank you so much, Charity Nahawe. In more stories, physically handicapped primary 7 candidates from the Kampala School for the Physical Handicapped have received therapeutic and scholastic materials as they prepare themselves for their final exams. This was given to them by I&M Bank, an initiative aimed at soothing vulnerable communities.
These pupils that are only left with less than a week to sit for their primary leaving examinations explain that being physically handicapped is no reason for them not to chase their dreams just like the rest. In a school of over 100 physically handicapped children, the Kampala School for the Handicapped will be seating 14 primary 7 candidates.
Haliya abana bamu abansoka waliyo n'abamu bensoka. Naye olusi abasomesa bampako extra time.
So wait
Netese katikole ebibuzo bya PLE.
Children with disabilities, different varied disabilities. How we get these children, they are brought by their parents, whereby their parents get information from friends or parents who already have other children here, or even there are some children from homes. So that's how we get our children. We have classes from P1 to P7, and we provide education, and we also provide skills other than education.
I&M Bank's William Street branch, led by their manager, Barbara Kabengano, visited the Kampala School for the Physically Handicapped and donated a 6x6 therapeutic mattress, equipped air poles, front walking frames, exercisers, assorted fine motor toys, crutches, feed ball exercising balls, eatables, and boards with puzzles to support them in their day-to-day life.
Now we have 69 boys and 58 girls, totaling 127, and we have 14 candidates whom we are preparing to sit for primary leaving examination next week. The challenge is that they have a lot of work because they are unable to help themselves in every activity. So you find the school needs a lot of resources. We need manpower, we need finance, because we hire some workers in most of the areas, like in the dormitory. There must be someone to cater for them, in a class, even in the compound, because they cannot clean by themselves.
Kampala School for the Physically Handicapped is a primary school catering for the educational needs of the disabled children in Uganda, and it started in 1969 by a few parents of cerebral palsy children. Mario Nawori for UBC.
Pupils of Palace Junior School, Chirika, have been urged to be calm and believe in God as they prepare for their P7 final exams. Meanwhile, Bishop John Mubiru Salongo said this during a prayer with parents praying for these children.
7 years since I've been learning, and my life in this school has been so great.
The fathers, praise be to God. We are the one who cut the seed. Hallelujah. We are the one who sows the seed. And after sowing the seed, the fathers carry the seed. And then the seed becomes a child.
There has been a really great day. We are having dedication of our candidates. You are all welcome. Come and witness as we dedicate our children to God. The Bible says that the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, knowledge and understanding. So today we are dedicating our candidates to God, so that the Lord may help us.
Privileged to share with you about our candidates. We have 66 candidates, and all these candidates have been prepared enough. We have done thorough revision, we have engaged them, and we have been on them. We have done over 18 sets of examination, and we believe and hope that they will make it. And we promise our parents and our well-wishers that we shall crush this examination, which is happening next week. With the prayers that they have received today on education, we believe and hope that they will make it. And we call upon the general public to support Paris Junior School, Chireka. We are found along Nambole Road, and we give academic standards that are not bettable. Our results speak for themselves. When you come to school and you look at the tranquility of the school, indeed the school is fine and everything is well.
Pupils of Mugwanya Preparatory School in Kaboja have been urged to have hope and know that God is with them wherever they go to do their P7 exams. These were the words of Reverend Father Mayanja, who led the Mass at their school.
We are praying for you today for a special blessing, that you may move with the Holy Spirit, that may get that special power from God. Move with the Holy Spirit. Yes, I remember when I was doing P7, when I was going to sit for my PLP exams. First of all, I was very confident. I thought I would be having a 1 in mathematics, because that was my best subject. You know, you are going to go to secondary schools elsewhere, and then they tell you that this boy is from Mugwanya, or else that they cheat, they copy. Also, I think I've had such statements. When I came to Swiss Seminary in senior 1, when I came from Zambia, we were 10 in number. But when we reached in class, everyone was like, "You are from Zambia, you cheat exams." But when I was studying from there, we did almost from all over Uganda, but we had a reference.
Of the boys for 7 years, maybe and more. Thank you for paying school fees. Thank you for the constant visits you have been making here at school, providing everything to see that you help us to take care of our boys. We are really very, very grateful. One thing is left, to pray for the boys. Keep on praying, pray and pray until something happens. Pray for the impossible, and God will give us the best possible in January.
UBC News Tonight will take a short commercial break, and after the break we'll be with Mrs. Jennifer Msamba Kalule, who is the Principal Public Relations Unit, to give us a highlight and an overview on what the examination season looks like. Thank you.
Stop breathing. To be a winner, you must breathe only when necessary. Breathing is for losers. What is that? Did I give you permission to sweat? You can sweat in your free time. Push the arms straight.
Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Amazina ganje Ninyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri byo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 16 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana star 278 ngafuna message erikweka mu muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo neri y'abafere sente ziriyo zone bakaziteka ngo nazihangwira.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win. Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
To be a winner, you must have the discipline of a tiger. But when fueled with MTN Momo, winning is easy. Simply get your phone and use the Momo app or dial *165*3#, enter merchant code, enter amount, enter your Momo PIN, and pay. Congratulations! Your car is happy, and now you stand a chance to win mobile money with MTN Momo.
Honorable Fred Biamukama, Minister of State for Works and Transport in charge of transport, invites you to the launch of the 4-acre model campaign in the Greater Chibale District's Bunyoro sub-region. The event will take place at Chikwaya Primary School Playground, Kakumiro District on November 15, 2024, starting at 10 a.m. and will be graced by His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni. All residents, civil servants and the leaders from the districts that make up Greater Chibale, Kakumiro, Chibale, Kagadi, Chikube and neighboring areas are encouraged to attend in large numbers. This initiative, led by the President, aims to bring ordinary people into the money economy by showcasing farmers who have succeeded in the 1-acre model, 2-acre model, 3-acre model and 4-acre model. Join local leaders and residents in learning how small land can be used to enhance food security and socio-economic growth. Don't miss this opportunity to witness the transformative impact on local communities.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. You're still watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha, and Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. In studio with me today is Mrs. Jennifer Msamba Kalule, who is the Principal Public Relations, Uganda National Examination Board, UNEB. And of course, we all know that the season of exams is going on, and it has been going on for quite some time across the country. So we want to know what the season looks like. What are some of the things that have changed since last year where we had these exams? That's the UCE, the UNEB UCE examinations, USCE examinations, and the PLE examinations. PLE starts next week, along USCE as well in the same period, while UCE is coming to an end actually next week. So today we're in studio and she's going to give us highlights on what is happening. A very good evening. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
What is the season looking like, and what's the difference if you were to compare this year with last year?
Okay. It's been quite a great season. It's been quite hectic. We've been conducting 2 UCE examinations for the new curriculum and for the old curriculum. So it's been like side by side. By the grace of God, we've had it for 3 weeks and it's been fairly peaceful, really. We haven't had any major challenges. We had a challenge of a case in chemistry where we had some teachers trying to get involved in malpractice. and they were arrested, and they've actually been they're appearing before Mitiana Court, and until I think they've been put on remand until the 19th of this month. And then we had a case in Tororo where we had some teachers who are still trying to, who had unauthorized material, allegedly PLE papers, they're trying to woodwind people, you know, sell them around, but also they were arrested, and one of them has been given 3 years imprisonment. Another one is still on remand because they've denied the charges, so it's still an ongoing case. By and large, it's been a peaceful season. It's been exciting having the new curriculum candidates, interfacing with them and asking them how are the examinations, and they're like, it's a good, because this curriculum is different. It's about competencies. It's a combination of just the knowledge that you have, skill, and how you're going to apply that knowledge. So we are assessing both the acquisition of knowledge, the content, and the competencies. And our theme this year is embracing security and holistic assessment of learners in a dynamic environment. We're looking at an environment where learners have to be practical. They have to actually prove their competencies, but also they're living in an environment where they have like smart watches in class, in examination rooms, and anything could happen with that. They're able to watch anything and view anything.
How are you able to make sure that none of that deters or makes it impossible for you to still have clean examinations without anyone really
interfering?
Yes, interfering.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but we have to be up to the challenge, really. Yeah. So we try our best, and now that's why we're embracing security, and we're calling upon everybody to make sure that they are alert. Today we're having a briefing of a team of scouts who are going to be out there in the field, who are going to be overseeing the P7 examinations, and we have put in place measures to make sure that we do not have any interference. Aware of the fact that learners could be having actually smart watches, and they're linking up with people who have smartphones and things like that. So we have some measures in place to try and control that. We wouldn't just say it here because it's a security measure, but we have put in place measures.
Now, when you talk about students and the new curriculum, I'm curious to know how the briefing has been different, because now you're on a different slate. It's a clean new slate. That's the new curriculum versus what you had then. So how has the briefing been different?
Well, the briefing, of course, it's more or less the same thing, but of course, you come up with some tips, be more vigilant, do X, Y, Z. And when you talk about, let's say, like the new curriculum, there are things that the timetable changes first and foremost, and some of them the time has changed, but also there are things now like the IT, the learners have to do, they also had to do practical before, but even now they have to do, there's some basic things have changed. But more it's more about vigilance, because the whole idea about having the people who are overseeing the examinations, the scouts and the invigilators, is about the security of the examinations. Whether it's an old curriculum or new curriculum, the security is very critical, and people would want to always do some bit of cheating here and there. But with the new curriculum, it is about critical thinking, analytical skills. The way we may have a question, a scenario, the way you respond to it will be different from the way I respond to it. So there isn't so much room for malpractice under the new curriculum. That is the beauty about it, because everybody has the content, but how are you going to analyze the question, the situation? How are you going to make sure that you use the knowledge you have to solve a problem in a real life situation? And this varies from individual to individual. So we are also excited. We are looking forward to seeing the outcome of this examination. How is the performance going to be? But one thing I can assure you, nobody is going to fail, because everybody has something put on table. And then we also had the continuous assessment scores, which are school-based, and we've been urging schools to submit their scores, and which they've done. We want to thank all the schools out there. They were able to beat the deadline. A few of them are still remaining. We are giving you an open window. Please make sure you do submit the scores of the learners by Tuesday this week. Continuous assessment, because it contributes 20% to the overall achievement. And in case the learner has no continuous scores, they will not be graded by your name. So I want to encourage the schools out there, please do not fear. You can call our toll-free lines, or you can come over with a CD with the scores, and our teams will be able to help you.
I'm already envious on how about the new curriculum.
Yes, it's very exciting. Teachers, we ask them, what do you think about these learners? They're like, yeah, they're exciting. They're outgoing, they're aggressive. Put them on an island and they'll survive. They know how to search for information. They know how to go there and look out for something. You just give them the guidance and they go and do the research. Unlike our old curriculum, where we would be given notes and everything you have to read and cram. Here you don't know how to cram. All what you need to know, how did it happen? Why did it happen? Then what next? How can I use this? They are very outgoing and very interesting.
I love the fact that you have new introductions, you know, into the new curriculum, and then some of them even being sign language, and then physical education.
Exciting.
And those are now you're actually going to be marked. You know, it's no longer just something that you hear about, because I hated physical education. Yes,
but now you know you're going to be assessed.
Exactly.
And we have so many of them, and it's quite expensive. It's been very expensive for us. We had to do the practicals. It's been very expensive, but exciting at the same time. And when you talk to them, for instance, I was talking to some of the learners, the candidates, and asking them, okay, after here, what not? What happens? Say, in VAC, I'm going to make sure I get I do maybe aerobics for my community, and I'll have get some money out of it. So it's not just them learning and doing it as a subject, but also trying to make sure they get something out of it.
Can be a money venture. Very interesting. And for sign language?
Sign language is one of those things that is so exciting. If there's anything that this curriculum ever did, I was with the learners in Wachiso School for the Deaf, and they say even if we do not pass, just making sure, just knowing that sign language is one of the language recognized by UNEB, one of the language, because next week we have basic languages, mainly, which are electives, and sign language is one of them. They're doing it on Monday. It's so exciting, and they're looking forward to doing it because it's an official language being assessed by UNEB, and whether you are deaf or not, we are encouraging many schools to take up that subject, so many people can be able to know the sign language. You go to the markets, you come over here, we interact with them just like we do with any other
I'm sure the sign language interpreter, Mugalu Muhammad, is very excited.
It's an exciting language.
Yes. Inclusivity is very, very important, and I'm glad that UNEB has, you know, caught up on that, being one of those things that is making the country more developed, and at least everyone feels like they're part of development.
It's very inclusive, very inclusive. We always look out for the SNEs, for the people who have special needs, and we give them an extra 45 minutes just to be able to cope up with the special needs. We provide the braille material, we provide the interpreters, and then we also do whatever, if they need support to help them write, we do that for them.
Now, there's no year, I think, where we have these examinations, and one of the things that is always talked about is malpractice. Please don't participate, please don't be a part of, please don't be, and the different versions, because now we have smartphones. So I might not leak, you know, a document or a paper, but I might use my phone and I might, you know, spread that to other people. And what is different now, and why should we listen to you in 2024, yet 2023 still had the same issues, you know?
Well, there's some issues, yes, but also we try to be more vigilant. One of the things we want to caution people about is that especially PLE, there are many people who want to masquerade us out there, who want to woodwink people and tell them that maybe they have the kasasi or something, they have the papers or something. One, I want to assure you, nobody will get access to the paper before it's time. And in case you have anything which is purported to be a UNEB paper, anything which looks like a UNEB paper or something like that, you can be charged for unauthorized possession of a content that purports to be in the paper. And the worst bit of it is about the electronic transmission. If it comes on your phone, if anybody sends on your phone and then you share it, then you are aiding and abetting malpractice, whether it's a true paper or not. So I want to caution the public out there, please do not share anything which comes on your phone appearing to be like a UNEB paper. One, it is not correct. But two, you're also aiding malpractice, you're disorganizing the system, and according to our act, that aiding and abetting malpractice is an offense. In case you're convicted, it can be 5 to 10 years in jail, or you can be charged with a fine of 20 to 40 million, and it is not worth it. So I want to caution the public out there, please do not be part of the team that is going to aid and abet malpractice. Do not be in possession of unauthorized material of anything that looks like a UNEB paper.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jennifer. Any last remarks before we come to a conclusion? And when do the P7 students start and the S6 students?
Okay, P7 students are going to be briefed on Monday, that is the 4th of November at their schools, and want to ask the heads of centers to please do make sure you brief the learners on the do's and don'ts of the examinations, the kind of thing they need to avoid so that we do not get them involved in malpractice unknowingly. We want to call upon our religious leaders to join us this weekend. Please pray for the learners from your various places where you're going to be. Kindly dedicate them, pray for them. I've been seeing dedication, which is a good thing. Let's join everybody and pray for the learners. And then on Wednesday, Wednesday and Thursday, they'll be writing their papers. For the timetable, it's going to be everywhere. Let's support them. Let's be there and stand with them. Let's make sure that they do the examination in a smooth and safe environment. Want to wish them all the blessings and want to wish all our scouts there. We are hiring over 13,000 scouts to oversee the examination in all parts of the country. Just make sure the examination is safe and secure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming through and for all those remarks. And I pray that all the students actually are ready for their examinations. That's for the P7 candidates and the S6 candidates, and of course some S4 candidates who are about to wound up next week.
We have some S4 candidates who are doing the electives, the sign language and the physical education, the theory paper. And then as UCE ends on Friday, we should also have a briefing of USCE candidates still on the same Friday. Primary peer. So this week we actually have all the sets of examinations being done. All the 4 E's, the 4 examinations, the PLE, transition examination, UCE, new curriculum, and USCE.
Thank you so much. That was Mrs. Jennifer Musamba Kalule, the Principal Public Relations UNIB, who has been talking to us to give us an overview on what the examination season, that's what I like to call it, looks like now. To all the students, I want them to always remember that all things are possible with God, so you'll be fine. And you can take on the scripture of Matthew 19:26. With man, things are impossible, but with God, anything is possible. We continue with UBC News Tonight, and of course, after the decline of cotton farming in Lango, when the value significantly fell, Lango remained without a stable cash crop. The emergency of cocoa growing in the area has brought a renowned hope to the local leaders who have agreed to promote the high-value crop to fight poverty in the region. Eddie Olua has a detailed report in business.
The districts in the region had long relied on cotton as their cash crop, but as years passed, cotton's value dwindled, leaving the land and its people without a stable source of income. Led by their chairperson, the Lango District Chairpersons and Mayors Association have agreed on a bold new path promoting cocoa as a high-value crop that could restore prosperity to the region.
Not blaming people, not blaming government, not blaming everybody, but our focus should be offering solution. Like you have done it. By the way, you have provided leadership. Yes. What you are doing here. Yeah.
This was inspired by a visit to Trinity Mix Farm in Doklo District. The farm, owned by Fred Ogwaloye, a respectable clan head, had transformed into a model farm for cocoa growing in the region. Ogwal's success in cultivating cocoa had been driven by belief that this crop, new to the region, could change lives.
Now we have almost like
this has been our main goal. Whenever we sit, we say, now what can we do differently to make Lao move forward? I think today we have partly got an answer. We are no longer going to concentrate in only politicking, but to talk issues that can change the livelihoods of our people.
We should be able to sell this to the community in Lango, so that this becomes also our major cash crop, because it's an investment which does not demand a lot. In 2.5 years, you're already reaping. So we think we need to encourage our people that we take this up, and the good thing is also answering the question of climate adaptation.
And then areas of support to farmers. As leaders, we also need to talk about it. For farmers to progress, we also need to find a way of supporting them, find a way of support. And this one may call attention of government institution, partners, and the rest of it.
Lira University has also joined efforts to promote and conduct research on cocoa.
We are planning a department of agriculture, but we may not want to wait until that.
The National Agricultural Research Organization at NIET has been tasked to research on disease and pest management as well as methods for post-harvest handling to ensure international standards.
And now government has changed the way we budget now from output-based to program-based, where they want us to align our activities to agro-industrialization. And they are looking at mainly export crops which can bring in funds. And cocoa fits well in this arrangement.
His Highness the Paramount Chief of Acholi has also committed to a visit to the model farm. With this commitment, partnerships and technical support, cocoa could become the symbol of a renewed hope as a champion crop for the region. Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
The East Africa UK Tourism and Culture Expo 2024 is here, happening on 8th and 9th of November 2024 under the theme Enhancing Tourism as Engine for Social and Economic Transformation on the sidelines of WTM London at the Rembrandt Hotel, 11th Thalo, PI South Kensington, London, SW7 2RS, United Kingdom. For tickets, exhibitors will pay £1,000 and participants will pay £300. For more information, call +256 787 096 100 or +254 795 806 969. Visit www.eauktourismexpo.com to register.
Stories were, of course, as the examination period for senior 4 and 6 years and end, primary leavers start their examination next week with a call to parents not to neglect their duties. The parents have been advised to engage their children in activities that keep them busy, like vocational areas, for example, gardening, to guard against immorality. This message was at Jaire Junior School during a blessing mass for the primary 7 candidates that start their examinations next Wednesday.
Is that we believe that God provides wisdom. Without it, we are nothing. As I told the parents that an idle mind is Satan is easy to use. So I'm asking the parents that once these children leave this school, let them be kept busy with something to do, either homework or some work to do with gardening and agriculture, or something that you feel that your child is capable of doing, so that this child is not idle and so that is not misused by the rest of the community or by the
ruhanga wenga nwaino bwenji obuhikire ntabwo cyo kwereza mukama abana kabaje to mukama abana buwampire mbabona.
Success to all the candidates that will be doing their exams next week. Goals by Sumaya Nalumu and Zainab Nandede have earned Kampala Queens a 2-0 away victory over Ryan's Women Football Club in a Finance Trust Bank FUFA Women's Super League game at Kabaka Chabago Stadium in Wakiso. In the other games played this Saturday, Wakiso Hill and Uganda Matters Luaga ended scoreless, and the victory for Kampala Queens moves it to the second position. Ryan's drops to the 5th. Uganda Matters goes to the 8th, while Wakiso Hill is 10th, ahead of several other games on Sunday.
Well, the game was good. At the beginning we were able to contain, and we were actually coming to the final bit of where we wanted to get a win from this, because from the beginning our calculation was to get up to the 10 points. So we knew a draw would walk away with it, but even as we kept pushing first half, we did not utilize our chances very well. When we came back in the second half, the girls a little bit lost their concentration. That's how we conceded those 2 goals. But we are hoping to come back in the next game way much better than this one.
I feel good as another player would feel, because I've spent some 4 matches without scoring, so I felt so happy scoring my first goal.
You're coming back to winning ways after 4 matches not winning. You and the team, how do you relate this game from the other games?
Indeed, it was somehow a hard game to us, but I'll appreciate the players for the effort and the hard work they tried to put in the game and to bring back that winning mentality to the team, because we had spent some 4 games without winning, and it was really disgusting to us as a club, but it's good that we have come back to the winning mentality.
So far we had a strategy, because previously we have been drawing and we had only 1 win. So we came into this game focusing that we needed to play good football, first of all. Then we needed to win the game. Probably the ladies were positive, and they came and they gave me what they promised, because they promised me that they are going to win this game. Probably that's it, because we had a strategy to kill off this game in the first half, talk to them, and
Joshua Cheptegei has showed his other side to the world in his speech, during which he eloquently talked about climate change, gender-based violence and sports. This was during the second edition of the UNDP Elgon Half Marathon with Joshua Cheptegei. Take a look.
Saturday morning found thousands of Ugandans at Mbale Sports Ground ready to partake of the second edition of the UNDP Elgon Half Marathon that was achieved with the Joshua Cheptegei Foundation.
You know, like we say that when people move, money moves. And what a city like this one and the region needs is events and people to come. So to answer your question, a marathon like this one brings opportunities to the people, but also gives us sustainability in terms of the opportunities to the grassroots.
It was a multi-pronged marathon whose aims to ascend sport and tackle pivotal areas of life like climate change, gender-based violence, and of course, talent identification.
To call upon the communities, let us embrace respect, inclusivity. If we are able to respect our sisters, because it doesn't cost you to respect your sister. Any woman you see out there is your sister or your daughter. So if we can do that, we can be able to have a community which is free of gender-based violence. And lastly, we want to talk about climate. I want to use this platform to encourage each and every person, let us plant a tree.
The marathon that started and ended at the Mbale Sports Ground was contested over 3 various distances. There was participation in the 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and the 21 kilometers. Smartphone company Infinix, which is a key partner with the Joshua Cheptegei Foundation, played a key role and used the occasion to spread the gospel of digital inclusion.
In Uganda, there is a very big digital gap, especially in the rural areas where people do not have access to internet or tools that they need to access the internet. So Infinix this year introduced a new family, that's the AIoT family, and it has smartwatches, it has laptops, it has experts. So this is the very first time we are having this in Uganda, even globally. Like this is the year we've introduced it. So to participate in the Elgon Marathon, our aim was to bridge the digital gap in Uganda. So we came, we ran for our cause. Infinix sponsored the color run, which was the 10K. It was fun. You saw lots of people with lots of color. So I wanted to bring something that is fun in all this as we run for our cause to bridge the digital gap.
Uganda Tourism Board was also an ever-present at this marathon that identifies with sports tourism in one of Uganda's gifted locations.
As Uganda Tourism Board and then together with the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, we are getting to develop and promote sports tourism as a new product, as a new experience to position Uganda better as a destination for sports tourism. So these are the kind of activities that will really get us to the next level.
In the men's 5 kilometers, at Prisons Club's Emmanuel Chebet finished first, Deogracius Mosobo second, while Cornel Kiprotich was third. The women's 5 kilometers, watched by former world champion and three-time Olympian Halima Nakai, was won by Police Club's Charity Cherop, with Peace Chebet in second position.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity, especially for the young talent, to show the potential they have. You've seen very many have been competing, giving in their best. So, yeah, I have a feeling that they have bright future, and I hope we are going to get more medals for our country.
Martha Chemutai triumphed in the women's 10-kilometer race, followed by Noela Cheruto and Rispa Cherop. The first three men in the 10-kilometer race were Alex Kiplangat, Ezekiel Mutai, and Abraham Cherotich. The men's 21-kilometer race was won by Arua Club's Kibet Mande Isaac, with Ben Somiko and Leonard Chemonges second and third respectively. All that took part in the marathon are proud to be part of this historic event, whose aims are beneficial to Uganda.
Rally has been good to us generally, and the marathon itself has actually attracted hundreds of Ugandans who have also come together to put a voice to end gender-based violence within the Bugisa sub-region, and also, in the same regard, climate action.
The women's 21 kilometers race was dominated by Prisons Club that had Olympian Belinda Chemutai, Chebet Rechazena, and Rebecca Chelangat in 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you so much for watching UBC News Tonight. From the team and I, have a lovely night and a blessed one. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Super Soul Sisters ground-based inspiring story grand finale is here. With our theme of Vision for the Future, come and be part of this amazing yet inspiring pageant as we focus on the girls' life journey through storytelling to change people's lives. This December, Saturday the 14th, 2024 at Nakasero Primary School Amphitheatre from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in partnership with Plan International Uganda and UBC TV. Ordinary tickets are sold at 20,000 shillings, VIP table at 500,000 shillings and 1 million Ugandan shillings. Be there.
In a world where every day is a battle for survival, one man endures